Hello and welcome to another edition of Straight in the Training Ground, the podcast where we share our love for the beautiful game and the people out in their communities doing beautiful things. And we have one of those such people right here with us. David Jackson has done some amazing things in the Cincinnati, Ohio area to help kids make club soccer accessible for them, which we'll get into later. David, thanks a lot for taking some time to talk to us today.
Hey man, I really appreciate you having me, man. I am excited to kind of bring some more awareness to our club and let you know what we're all about.
Absolutely, and can't wait to dive into that stuff. And here on Straight from the Training Ground, we love people like you who are doing things out there to make soccer accessible for all kids. So let's get straight to it. You're from Cincinnati Grand Futbol Club. You are the founder. It
Yeah.
started in 2023. Tell
hmm
everybody just a little bit about yourself growing up. Do you have a soccer background? Did you play different sports? What was it like growing up
Yeah.
for you?
So no soccer background at all. I've never played soccer a day in my life
Yeah.
outside of the club. I was a basketball guy.
Yep.
Grew up playing basketball. Basketball was my first love. Never played any other sports, honestly. Not organized, you know.
Yeah.
Only sport organized was basketball. Obviously, as a young kid, play a little bit of football in the neighborhood, a little bit of baseball in the neighborhood, but organized just basketball. Not even wasn't aware of soccer
Yeah.
at all as a kid, for sure.
Well, so how'd you get into soccer then?
So my oldest son, who just turned 18 last week, um, he got involved in soccer through sent him to a little private school. Just trying to give him the best education that I could, and he started playing recreational soccer for the school, and he loved it. He was kind of a natural. And next thing I know, he's like, "Hey, Dad, my buddy Camden plays select soccer or club soccer." And I'm like, "All right, I don't know much about it, but he's like, can I play?" And I'm like, "All right, cool." So I called Camden's dad, and I was like, "Hey, who does Camden play for? What's it all about?" He's like, "Oh, he plays for this club, Cincinnati United," which is the neighborhood that they played in was kind of far from where we were. So we found a club closer to us, and he began to play. And next thing you know, I went from basketball dad to soccer dad. He didn't want to do anything except soccer, right? He would
Yeah.
with his school buddies, he would play recreational basketball with the school group and stuff like that. But when it came to competitive sports, all it was all soccer. So that's how I became soccer dad, and then it took off from there.
Now, in
hmm
2023, you start Cincinnati Grand Football Club.
hmm
Tell everybody about what makes that club unique.
what makes it unique is up until recently, I just spoke with a guy from Michigan who reached out to me. He was the only other soccer club that I realized that there was another free soccer club, and that was I think they're Real Lansing up in
Yeah.
Lansing, Michigan.
Okay. Yep.
Um, I literally just met him last week, and but prior to that, I could not find any free select soccer programs
Welcome to the
specifically.
United States.
Yeah, specifically tailored to inner city and underprivileged kids. So I looked at it in a way that says, all right, I got a lot of friends from all across the world, right?
Yep.
And Africa, South America, Europe, Asia, Middle East, everywhere, right? I got a diverse group of friends, and they're like, where we're from, this is the most accessible sport. And I'm like, well, here in the States, obviously some are in the States now, they realize like here, a lot of them told me like, oh, man, it's a culture shock. We get over here and these kids got to pay all this money to play soccer. And like we get up and we play for free or little or no cost at all. So for me specifically, growing up in the inner city, um, I'm looking when my sons start to play, and I'm like, hey, I'm a black guy from the inner city, and my son is always pretty much the exception of, there's one or two minorities maybe on his team. I mean, we go to tournaments with, it could be 50 to 100 teams, and there's
Yeah.
not double digit minority kids within all of it, right? So
Correct.
I'm like, all right, we got the most popular sport in the world by far, right? Listen, it doesn't compare. When even myself, when we're in prior to being exposed to soccer, we're thinking basketball, we're thinking football. Basketball has expanded across the world. It has nothing on soccer when it comes to popularity, right? On a global scale.
Yeah.
So I'm a very simplistic, logical person. And I said, we have the most popular sport in the world by far. All my friends and all my research, poor middle class kids play everywhere else in the world, right? And in the States, no, when I tell you if a kid from the inner city plays select soccer, it's an anomaly. Like,
Oh, absolutely.
like I got friends in Atlanta, Chicago, everywhere. You go into the inner city and say, wait, what do you know about select soccer or club soccer? They know absolutely nothing. Like, and I'm like, hold on. With all this potential we have out here, all these kids that they're gonna go play D1, D2, D3 basketball, football, they don't even get exposed to the game. That was a huge problem for me. And I said, hold on. Like these kids that could be the next LeBron James or whoever else or Barry Sanders, they don't even have the opportunity to be the next Mbappe or Neymar or whatever because they don't get exposed. And my main thing was like, all right, you got the financial barriers, right? That
Yeah.
that's a huge part. A lot of most parents in the inner city can't get over that. Secondly, we have the logistical problems, right? All our soccer clubs are on the outskirts of the city, right? A lot of our kids, they're single parents, they got other kids to deal with. Some of them don't even have the transportation. So between finances, between the logistical barriers, those are two huge things. But as I'm building this program, I'm like, before the both of those, the kids don't even have the exposure, right? They don't even know that these opportunities are out there, right?
Yeah.
So those are three huge things. So I always come from a mindset of if you cannot find it, you're not going to complain. You're just going to go build. Period.
Yeah.
So
Find a
there's
way.
no find a way. So that's what I did. That's I just got started and we got rocking and rolling. And now we started off at 24. We had one team that was U11, so birth year 2015. Few of the kids were younger than that. Now we're up to two teams, two co-ed teams playing select. Both are U11, 2015, but we got kids that are 2016, 17, and actually one 2018 that's technically playing three age groups up, and they all love it. And none of the kids played club before,
Yeah.
uh, and half of the kids, at least, have never picked up a soccer ball until we started our program.
That's fantastic. And the world needs more people like you, David Jackson. We appreciate it. We appreciate it.
Thank
We
you.
really do. We need that in
Thank
our country more than ever. Let's get to the nitty-gritty. How do you make it work? So someone out
you.
there watches this someday. They're a parent like you. Maybe they played soccer growing up.
Yeah.
They're upset about the pay to play,
Hmm.
fees for kids. But how do you actually make it work where you can provide these things for kids and not charge them money or not charge them very much money at all?
Got you. So yeah, we don't charge any money at all. the and this is not going to be the blueprint for everyone. This is just
Sure.
my story. It's going to take faith. That's a huge part of it, right? Because initially I poured all my own money to get this thing started, knowing that there won't be a lot of belief and there won't be a lot of support for something as disruptive and new
Yeah.
until they actually see what we're doing, right? So that's what I was betting on, not on the idea of what we're going to do, because a lot of people are not visionaries. They're not just like, oh, you're doing what? I don't know. I'm not really sure if I can get behind that, right?
They just
So
keep going with the flow. They just keep.
yeah, yeah. So my with my faith, I'm like, I'll put my money into this. And I mean, the first year to get everything set up, to get everything funded with jerseys, all that stuff, I probably invested 40 to 50 grand of my own money to get this thing off of the ground, right? And within about 6, 7 months at FC Cincinnati Foundation, I got connected with them. They committed $5,000 a year, which ain't huge, but it helps.
Absolutely.
And then then we started to get people pouring in just small donations here and there, $50, a couple $100, $500, things like that. In 24, I'm sorry, early 25, we were fortunate. I have a real good buddy of mine named Austin, and he runs a branding company called Durham Studios. He donated a significant amount of money. It was like $25,000, which is a huge help.
Absolutely.
And then another good buddy of mine, Paul Swanson. So Paul and Rose, their son passed away, and he was they started a legacy fund in his name. It's the Cal Swanson Legacy Fund. They literally just found us on the internet and it was like, we are so moved about what you're doing. We want to get involved. We want to support. And they donated $25,000. I'm sorry. They donated $10,000. And from there, I mean, we got a couple people that donated a couple grand, a couple people donated a couple $100, and that's how we've been. That's how we've been surviving, right? And I've just been doing my best to be a good steward of the funds that we have. So we don't get goals that may last a very long time, right? There's goals that cost $1,500 and $2,000. We're on Amazon getting $300 goals, right? And then once we move from U10 to U11, we had to get bigger goals, right? And they are literally just making it through the season for us.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I got a plan for the future, the next 6 months, the next year, and things like that. And so it's kind of twofold as far as the goals. I'm not gonna get the super expensive goals when our kids are in the age range that they're gonna move to another size goal at next season and stuff like that. So kind of twofold of like, oh yes, it saves us money now, and then we're moving on to a different size goal anyway. So so that's kind of how I found the balance there. And now we're kind of getting some momentum. More people want to get involved. Somebody just reached out from U.S. Soccer, so I have a meeting with her next week. I don't know what that entails, if there'll be any kind of significant support, but there is momentum. And really just keeping the faith and getting more and more awareness. So nothing set in. We have no reoccurring donations that come, right? Nobody's made a commitment that says, I'll give you guys $20,000 every year. Or it is literally just walking by faith and believing that as we grow, as we serve more kids, that we'll start to get those type of commitments.
And the word will spread like it has already in 2 years.
Yeah, for sure.
If you're just tuning in, we're here with David Jackson. He's the founder of Cincinnati Grand Futbol Club. They provide free club soccer to inner city kids and youth in the Cincinnati, Ohio area. What would you say are you most proud of so far?
I am most proud of, honestly, it's kind of twofold, right? From the sports side, I'm so proud of how the kids are progressing, right? From kids that have just picked up a soccer ball, be it 18 months ago, if they're one of the new kids, they've only been with us about 6 or 7 months, how they're progressing. Outside of the soccer aspect, our program provides tutoring before every single outdoor practice, right? Because even though our kids are only 10 and 9 and 8 and 7, we stress to them that while it may not seem important now, you are a student athlete and the student comes first. So if you're still pursuing soccer at the high school age or college level, if you're fortunate enough to make it there, if you don't take care of business in the classroom, you don't even make it to the field, right?
You hear that, kids?
So we are emphasizing that now. And that's seeing where some of our kids struggle on the educational side and us being an asset to help in that regard is huge. Because I know, right, what is the likelihood of a kid going on to play professional? It's slim to none. So if we can help build these kids holistically, great soccer players, because we'll push you to the limit when it comes to soccer and being the best you can be. And principles just in life, the stuff you carry from sports that you can carry in other aspects of your life, and then just your education overall, them understanding how important it is to be intelligent, to be smart, to be a lifelong learner and things like that. So overall, I say all that to say that I am most proud of the mission that we have and the progress we've made in building these kids holistically, soccer players as people and as students.
That's fantastic, and that's great to hear because I think a lot of people skip that part, like you said. Not only what you're doing to make soccer free and accessible for these kids, but the educational piece to that is tremendous. It really is. David, if in a perfect world, let's say a couple years down the line, you made tremendous strides in 2 years already. In a perfect world, what would you love to see from Cincinnati Grand Football Club?
In a perfect world, in a few years, what I would like to see is whatever that age starts of like select soccer up through U19, we have a team per age group with, so we're serving maybe a couple hundred kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
Providing all the resources they need to be the best soccer player, the best student they can be, and the best young people they can be. That would be the ideal situation for our club. Like us, and then also on another note, for us to be the inspiration, and this is kind of just soccer related, for us to be the inspiration that things like this pop up in all the other major cities all across the country. Because why don't the most popular sport in the world look like basketball or football or anything else that's culturally relevant, right, to kids who otherwise wouldn't have been interested in the sport? I would love for, because I don't know the exact specifics, but I know a lot of the kids that come from where we come from, they play basketball and football. If we could take that group of kids, right, and just consistently across the country and say, all these kids that typically would play football or basketball, if we could get 2 out of 10 to play soccer or to consider soccer, that changes the entire landscape of the game in the States. So that would be ideal.
Well, I'm with you, and I hope to see that. I can't wait because that's something I'm very passionate about as well. I
Yeah.
love what you're doing. We can't thank you enough here from our
Thank you.
podcast. Really look forward to hearing more from you. And I'll let you have the floor. You can have a minute or two to let everybody know anything you want to know about your club, your website, where they can
Yeah.
find more information, donations, all those kind of things. So the floor is yours.
All right. I really appreciate it. So our website is CincinnatiGrandFootball.org. And then, of course, that's FUTBOL, CincinnatiGrandFootball.org. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram at Cincinnati Grand Football. We're always looking for support, monetary donations. If you're in the area, we always like volunteers to come by, help mentor the kids. Um, yeah, and we just like anyway, just and even if it's not monetary support, even if you're not local, just share our story, share our news articles, share our social media, and let's spread the awareness. I mean, it's a community effort, right? We're just one very small part of it, and if we can do it together, I think we can change these kids' life, and we can change the game in general.
Amazing. Well, thank you very much, David. Again, David Jackson from Cincinnati Grand Football Club. Keep up the great work, and we look forward to seeing great things from you in the future. Until next time, straight from the training ground.